So welcome to all of you. I hope you had an easy flight and an easy travel from either Naples or Rome into Caserta. It's a bit of can be difficult. We have 3 days ahead of us. 2 days will be, we will have technical presentations. We have 31 speakers, so very intense. We will have morning breaks and questions and answer sessions. The third day will be, as I mentioned, it's going to be a full day field trip in a large Italian fish farming operation off the coast of this region. And as I said, I am your chairman for the next 2 days. I do hope that I'll do a good job and certainly not bore you like the gentleman on the picture. For those of you who don't know me, and I put that photograph, but maybe for those far away can't really see me up here. My name is Alessandro Lovatelli. I work for the Food and Agriculture Organization, which is based, the headquarters are based here in Rome. And I work for the Aquaculture branch, as we're called nowadays, and mainly dealing with offshore marine aquaculture development at the global region, at the global level. Now, just a few slides to set the scene. We're all very familiar with this slide. We know that the capture fishery sector is, I would say, that has reached its maximum sustainable level. We can improve fishing operations of certain fisheries. Some will be improved, others will go down, but we think that the level is at that maximum level has been reached. But we have seen and we know that the aquaculture industry is growing. But it is growing with certain issues that I would like to raise later on. Now, I like this slide. It's a bit scary, but it really it's very figurative, and it really indicates what's happening in the rest of the world. This is the Adriatic Sea. You can see on your left the slide of the Adriatic Sea from 1948 to 49. The red shading is the biomass of fish which existed at the time. And then the same study was carried out in the late 90s, and you can see that the red shading is much, much smaller. So we do have a dramatic decline of fisheries, and that is a fact. Now, FAO is known for producing, let's say, collecting all the statistics of fisheries and aquaculture statistics around the world, and it's used basically as the basis of the industry. And we can see that today the total production from the world aquaculture is 90.4 million metric tons, of which only 66.6 million metric tons are for food fish. The rest is either macroalgae and for non-food products, 23 and 22 million tons respectively. Now, if you look, the fin fish aquaculture contributes 66.3% to the global aquaculture production, but the majority of that, as we know, it's mainly freshwater aquaculture. The mariculture only produces a much smaller percentage. And if you look at the mariculture subsector, the majority of it is from the mussel industry, the bivalve industry. So this is where we stand in terms of statistics, and these are the latest statistics for 2012. Now, in terms of contribution, aquaculture contributes, as I mentioned, 42% to the world total fish production. Asia, as we know, again, is the continent which produces most of the marine, most of it, for 54%. And aquaculture is growing in other continents, but at a slower rate. I mean, Europe contributes now 18%, and other regions contribute even less, 15%. And in particular, that is Africa, which I think is a very important part of the globe for the development of aquaculture in the future. Now, when it comes to consumption, the current global consumption rate is 9.4 kilogram per person. This is an important figure because there's a lot of work being done in trying to promote the consumption of fish. People are buying more fish. Some of the developing countries are becoming richer. There's a stronger demand, there's a stronger buying power. There will be the need for more fish to come into the market. So we have done studies in FAO with the World Bank and other organizations that if we try to keep that same level of consumption today, within the next 20, 30 years, we will require a lot more fish into the market if we want to keep that same consumption level. Just very quickly, a few images that no need to comment. Desertification is a problem. No water from certain areas. Land is being occupied. A lot of cities, coastal areas. Coastal land use is this is a photograph of satellite photograph of Italy at night. People, a lot more people, and more are coming. So, how are we going to feed these people? And these are issues that we have to bear in mind. Now, if you look at this graph, it's a lot of data numbers there, but don't worry too much. But you can see that, I mean, the production of aquaculture, and there is obviously a difference between mariculture and inland aquaculture, but there's also differences in areas. So if you take, for example, Africa, I mean, mariculture is producing a very small percentage compared to inland aquaculture, but also compared to what is being produced in different parts of the world. So there is a lot of potential for development of marine aquaculture in coastal zones. Now, I put this slide on because, we are a blue planet. There's a lot of blue growth, blue economy, blue everything in these days in the newspapers, in international forum, what have you. But, waters do cover 72% of the planet surface. So they do provide services and to the human beings, but it's certainly an area which will be exploited more heavily within the next decades, particularly if we want to feed the growing world population. I put this photograph of this tilapia. A lot of us do marine aquaculture. We are more familiar with marine species, but tilapia is today the leading in terms of production all over the world. It's a good fish, and the reason I put this is because it's a herbivorous species, omnivorous if you wish. But the reason I'm saying this is because issues with regard to feed are important, as you are well aware of, and the industry will have to do much more work on that particular field. Now, this publication was launched not long ago, and it's the OECD and FAO Agriculture Outlook for the 2013 to 2022. And basically, I don't know if you see the graph down there, but there's a little green line, which I can't even read from here. It says demand, or yes, that is the likely demand of fish based on the population growth and income increase. So you can see it's a dramatic increase. So fish will have to come somewhere, because either some countries will stay without fish. Europe, US, we are net importers of fish, and countries like China are becoming very powerful and are buying more fish. I know of fish importers in Europe that can't find fish from China and from Asia anymore because they just can't compete with Chinese buyers. This is I put this slide on because there was a presentation of this Fish to 2030 prospect and fishery, or fish for fisheries and aquaculture, which was a publication which was released only a few weeks ago, I think. It was a joint FAO, World Bank, and IFRI and AES study. It's a very interesting study. It's available online, and I would recommend you to download and have a look at it. And this is the cover. Now, We have many challenges ahead of us, and these are some of them listed, and I hope that during the next couple of days we will have opportunities to touch upon those and learn more on what's happening in the industry. Now, just to remind you, in the last conference of the Offshore Mariculture Conference was held in Izmir, there was a statement produced at the conference. Some of you were there, and this statement was actually submitted officially by the European Aquaculture Society to FAO, and basically was indicating that the private sector has an important role to play within the, let's say, policy development at the public level. And I'm happy to say that this statement will be presented at the upcoming Global Ocean Action Summit for Food Security and Blue Growth, which is going to be an important summit. And it will be presented by Neil Sims, who was, which many of you know, and he was the former chairperson of the previous conference. Now, the Global Ocean Action Summit for Food Security and Green Growth will be held, as I said, at the end of the month, and in the Netherlands. And it will be looking at three aspects. It will be looking at growth and conservation. It will be discussing these three main areas. It will be on growth and conservation, the private sector interests and equity benefits for the communities, and EEZ and ABNJ policy frameworks. So I think this is where that statement is very important, and hopefully it will engage the policy makers at all levels, country level, international level, will engage private sectors more. Now I'm running out of time, so just very quickly, a few slides, a few notes regarding logistics. I'm being asked if you could kindly switch your telephones off, put them in silent mode. There will be no fire drills, so if you hear the alarm, please leg it, move up, see where the exits are. We have a few companies presenting their products. They are outside in the hall, so please have a look at them. Lunches and dinner. Lunch is across the hall, and it's called the main restaurant, so that's where the lunch will be served. And tonight we are invited by the organizers to a well-known restaurant in this part of the world. So we should meet at 6:45. At 6:45. Yes, here at the hall, and some buses will take us there. As I mentioned earlier, we will have a field visit on the last day. It's a big company. We have people presenting about this company. I think tomorrow, and I think I've been to this farm. It's very interesting. So I hope that you will be joining us, and hopefully the weather. I saw it was raining this morning, so hopefully it will improve. When it comes to the presentation from the conference and the PowerPoint presentations, they will be all uploaded on the website of the conference within a week's time. All the participants will be contacted and given a login password, so you will be able to log in and download everything you need. So don't worry about running around and asking the papers or the PowerPoint presentations. Last slide, a thank you note for our sponsors. Refamed, Scratting, ADAC, DVD, and VPCOM. The conference has been supported by the API and the FAO and what have you. They're all up there. I would also like to thank the Pisciculture del Golfo di Gaeta, which is the company that will be visiting on the last day of the conference. And I personally would like to thank also Regulatory Media, the organizers of this conference, because I think they're the only ones that I know of that are really organizing a focused conference, and I hope they continue to do so. Maybe you will receive later on at the end of the conference some kind of form that you can fill in to comments, so hopefully they can improve the conference in the future. And thank you to all of you for being here. Neil Sims is actually in Hawaii at the moment, but he's going to be moving to The Hague soon, and he sent this little message basically wishing you, good deliberations, and he will be joining us later on today by phone as he could not make it. So there you are. Thank you very much, and let's get started. It's going to be a long day. So I do hope that as the two testimonials from the earlier conference that I wrote down there, they say the last conference was a very good opportunity for networking, a valuable opportunity for update on information, technical information, what have you. So I hope you will feel the same during the next couple of days. Thank you very much.